The book of Genesis chapter 39.
Now Joseph had been taken down into Egypt. Potiphar, the Egyptian, one of Pharaoh's officials and commander of the guard, bought him from the Ishmaelites who had taken him down there. Yahweh was with Joseph, and everything he undertook was successful. He lodged in the house of his Egyptian master. And when his master saw how Yahweh was with him, and how Yahweh made everything he undertook successful, he was pleased with Joseph and made him his personal attendant. And his master put him in charge of his household, entrusting him with all his possessions. And from the time he put him in charge of his household and all his possessions, Yahweh blessed the Egyptian's household out of consideration for Joseph. Yahweh's blessing extended to all his possessions, both household and estate. So he left Joseph to handle all his possessions, and with him there concerned himself with nothing beyond the food he ate. Now Joseph was well built and handsome. And it happened some time later that his master's wife cast her eyes on Joseph and said, "Sleep with me." But he refused. "Look," he said to his master's wife, "with me here. My master does not concern himself with what happens in the house, having entrusted all his possessions to me. He himself with no more authority in this house than I do. He has exempted nothing from me except yourself, because you are his wife. How could I do anything so wicked and sin against God?" Although she spoke to Joseph day after day, he would not agree to sleep with her or be with her. But one day when Joseph came into the house to do his work, and none of the men of the household happened to be indoors, she caught hold of him by his tunic and said, "Sleep with me." But he left the tunic in her hand, took to his heels, and get out. When she saw that he had left the tunic in her hands as he ran out, she called her servants and said to them, "Look at this. My husband brought in a Hebrew to make a fool of me. He burst in on me, but I screamed. And when he heard me scream, he left his tunic beside me and ran out of the house." She kept his tunic by her until his master came home. Then she told him the same tale. "The Hebrew slave you brought to us burst in on me to make a fool of me. But when I screamed, he left his tunic beside me and ran away." When his master heard his wife say, "This was how your slave treated me," he became furious. Joseph's master had him arrested and committed to the gaol where the king's prisoners were kept. And there in gaol he stayed. But Yahweh was with Joseph. He showed him faithful love and made him popular with the chief gaoler. The chief gaoler put Joseph in charge of all the prisoners in the gaol, making him responsible for everything done there. The chief gaoler did not bother about anything put in his charge, since Yahweh was with him, and Yahweh made everything he undertook successful.
Good and gracious Father, you showed us in the story of Joseph that you are always there for those who are devoted to you, no matter the evils men say of them. We ask you therefore to come to our aid and help us to overcome every plans of the evil one for our lives, so that this will propel us to live better for you, for you are God who lives and reigns forever and ever. Amen.